Fresh perfection.
Hello, my friends.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go,
Hi,
let's
everybody.
go.
Just waiting for a couple people to funnel in here since we just put out the tweet. We had to restart the stream because of audio issues. Streamlabs was not cooperating with my microphone. But thanks for coming out. Yuka, Johnny, Big Red, B Booth, Meow, Flip. Man, you guys are the best. Appreciate you. See you day after day, stream after stream on Twitter, YouTube. Thank you guys and ladies for your support. This community is incredible. Looking forward to sharing the information we've got here with you guys today. Thanks, Jam Bams. Great to see you. Hope all is well. What's up, TMI baby mama? Thanks for coming out. Pulsar Diaz, my fam. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Marcel Kalinovic. I'm the Butcher of Wall Street. And today is the next in a series of videos exploring the geopolitical and macroeconomic implications on the financial system due to the over-leveraging of the Federal Reserve and hedge funds, banks, prime brokers, market makers, and family offices around the world. Buckle up, boys and girls, because the fun has just begun. How about this Benzinga article, guys? Benzinga comes out and tells us, I'm on IBKR trading at the time, and they come out with this bullshit article. AMC shares are trading higher amid strength in possible sympathy with Bed Bath & Beyond, which has surged amid retail investor attention on social media. Now, does it sound like they're having fucking sympathy pains over there? Like the pregnant wife and the husband's having these sympathy pains for his wife and just fucking eating all this food and, this is kind of ridiculous.
To be fair, though, they've had so many shit headlines for the last 20 months, they've run out. I mean, that's desperate right there.
They've got no more answers when they're literally coming out and saying they're having sympathy surges. Like, really? Come on.
That's pretty perfect.
It's like the bots that we saw all weekend long on Twitter, right, guys? How many bots did we see coming out here saying, delay Ape Q4?
Billions of that.
Yeah, billions of bots with a B and an S. That was great. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Johnny K, McLovin, Spaz, Arby's. Yeah, you ladies and gentlemen are the best. Johnny Chimpo, thanks for joining us here on the Think Tank. But yeah, this was an absolute hilarity to me. I could not. It's pathetic at this point, especially when Susquehanna, the number one shorter of AMC, per my knowledge, is down 150 billions with an S. And that's no lie. They had Q1 to Q2. They went from holdings of 578 billions to 404 billions. Nearly a 31% drop in assets under management. Here's their 13F. And their holdings is very, very small here, but I can see it myself. 578,333,429 thousandths, which means you got to multiply by 1K, which is 578 billion. Quite impressive. Now down to 404,340,209 billion dollars. Crazy.
End game, baby.
We're in the end game. Welcome to the jungle. We've got fun and games. Citadel Advisors is not doing any fucking better. A hedge fund with 16 clients and discretionary assets under management of $253 billion. Their last reported Q2 included $389 billion in managed 13F securities and a top 10 holdings concentration of 28.21%. They're
It's about nutrition, and we got them bleeding.
They have $94 billion in notional value losses, unrealized losses, quarter over quarter. Last quarter, their prior market value was 484 billions, and this quarter it's down to 389.7 billions. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of fucking money. But
way to go, Abe.
It's not just Citadel and Susquehanna. We are seeing issues all across cryptocurrency brokers and hedge funds as well, not just on the New York Stock Exchange in stock equities. Crypto exchange Bitfinex is facing criminal investigation in the United States. They've been hit with several investigations over who uses its platform and the actual state of its reserves. Because guess what? They're really good at marking short positions as long positions. They're really good at rehypothecating. They're really good at cooking the books and lying about their the real number of holdings that back their assets and potential losses. Bitfinex is facing a possible criminal investigation in the United States, according to the Department of Justice reply to a Freedom of Information Act request. So they got FOIA'd, which was shared on Twitter on Wednesday, and now it's all over the place. They denied a request for information pertaining to Tether Holdings Limited, its parent company, iFinex, and its subsidiaries, including Bitfinex, citing exemptions of FOIA. They prevent the disclosure of records or information compiled for law enforcement purposes, but only to the extent that production of such law enforcement records or information could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. So they came out and wanted to know the actual holdings on Tether, because as many of you probably already know, allegedly Tether, I say allegedly to protect myself from lawsuit, allegedly Tether does not have the holdings that it's supposed to actually have. And they're pretty much printing money out of thin air in the same way that the Federal Reserve or a commercial bank would print banknotes.
Yeah, allegedly they don't have shit.
Grandpa Barney, you're too kind, my friend. He says, my mic won't turn on to say hi in the think tank, so here's my love to all my freaking amazing family. Grandpa loves you all. Much love, man. Thank you very much, Gramps. You're too kind. You don't have to do that. Please stop super chatting me. I love you, brother.
He ain't still super chatting. Grandpa, yeah, he's got Alzheimer's. He forgets. You've done it enough. All right, pull it in now. Pull your neck in there, Grandpa.
Now, you've got former Bank of Canada economists stating that a, quote, soft landing is wishful thinking at this stage. They hiked its overnight interest rate by a full percentage point earlier in the summer, a move so large and swift that it would have been unimaginable long ago. Basically, a professor of the University of Waterloo's Department of Economics and former assistant chief economist at the Bank of Canada talked about interest rates and inflation. He said he thinks the aggressive tightening of interest rates in Canada, the United States, and elsewhere around the world is a sign that central banks fell behind the curve and missed crucial signals about the economy. Surprise, surprise. When we were talking about it last fucking July of 2021, right here on this very channel together. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. One thing I want people to know is this is not an accident. The Fed didn't let inflation run hot because they're looking backwards. They're looking forward. They know what's going to happen, and they purposely want demand and economic destruction to prevent them from having to do things that will further hurt the stock market and the bottom line of the top banks, as the Federal Reserve is owned by the world's top central banks and prime brokers. It's a gigantic Ponzi scheme. And by the way, I have never had suicidal thoughts of any kind. I would never hurt myself or my family. If anything ever happens to me, it was not suicide. It was the fucking feds. I would not do anything of the sort. And that's a full disclaimer that I put out there right now. This Ponzi scheme has got to end at all fucking costs.
Damn right. Damn right.
The Federal Reserve's massive asset sheet and balance sheet is propping up the stock market, equities markets, bonds, and real estate around the world. They have almost $3 trillion worth of mortgage-backed securities that were supposedly being tapered, but that's not really happening. They continue to buy mortgage-backed securities and United States treasuries at a massive, massive pace. And the roll-off of the matured mortgage-backed securities is nowhere near enough to get them to reduce their holdings, at least in anything under a decade. You can see from this chart, even in China, which is linked to our mortgage-backed securities due to the rehypothecations and net settlement and bilateral netting that occurs between banks, which means that they basically gamble each other's derivatives, toxic derivatives, against each other, and then rehypothecate them after they've done that, which allows them to, in a way, cook the books. Larry Bonez, Radwan Siraj, thank you, Larry Bones and Radwan Siraj. Thank you both very much for your contribution to the think tank. We appreciate you very much. But look at new bank loans to the Chinese real estate sector. Year over year, it's down huge from being up nearly 5 trillion yuan in 16, and then 19, 18 and 19 here. We're looking at negative 2 trillion, negative 1 trillion, and negative 3.5 trillion yuan. Sales by Chinese top 100 developers, changed from a year earlier, was down nearly 60% at one point here, and is currently down about 40% year over year. And when I say year over year, that's from last year, which is quite massive. The housing market is an absolute mess. And that was in China. And again, this does affect us here in America, in Canada, in Europe, Asia, you name it. It affects everybody. Because same as Ukraine's situation, with their mortgage-backed securities being completely worthless nearly, and the credit default swaps that hedge against those mortgages are through the fucking roof now in Ukraine. And they've been rated. Ukraine has been rated by ratings agencies as SD, which stands for selective default, meaning that they have already defaulted on their loans, much in the way that Sri Lanka defaulted before they went into a full-blown default rating and are having parts of their country annexed by China legally due to the money that they can't pay back. Now, Sri Lanka is begging the IMF for a bailout, and they're not getting it. Instead, you've got countries like Russia sending oil and food to Sri Lanka. Sounds a little backwards, doesn't it? Doesn't exactly fit the narrative that the United States has been putting out lately. Gee, I wonder why, huh, guys?
Hide it behind lies every time.
Hey, Peter, thank you very much for your contributions, my friend. Think Tank appreciates you very much. Look at the housing bubble. This is the Seattle Case-Shiller Home Price Index back in 08. Back in 08. The Shiller Home Price, Case-Shiller Home Price Index is adjusted for inflation. And it was created by a Nobel Prize winning laureate named, I forgot, I think it was Peter Shiller, but I could be wrong there. Basically, the higher this is, the more overvalued homes are. And we're at a point now where it's just literally the guy just put up here WTF. What the fuck? You know, like this is housing bubble 1 and 2 back in 2018. And then due to the massive purchasing of these mortgage-backed securities, $3 trillion worth by the Federal Reserve alone, not counting other central banks around the world, but just here in the States, we're at what the fuck territory where seeing a 40 to 60% correction in the housing market in the United States is, in my opinion, my non-financial advisor opinion, an absolute imminent liability. You know, as a homeowner, that does concern me. And at one point, you guys heard me on this channel state that I was going to sell my home. I've discussed it with the wife. I've thought about the long term, and I've realized that I've got such a great interest rate that it would probably make more sense to me to hang on to it, and when I move, just rent it out to somebody else and allow them to pay my mortgage and have equity on it, since I can hold on to it for 5, 10, 50 years if I wanted to or happen to live that long. A lot of people tend to forget that banks like BlackRock and Vanguard are buying your homes up at massively high prices, and they understand that they could greatly lose value. But the fact of the matter is, they're not going to turn around and try to sell it in a year or two. They're going to hold on to it for maybe 100 years. And they're going to have tenants living in it, paying them for it, paying the property taxes on it. And all they've got to do is use it as a depreciating asset in which they're actually making money. It's genius on their part. And so I've got to try to think a little bit more long term personally. And I try to self-reflect, and I hope that most of you do as well. I have to pause for a second here to say thank you to Danette Castillo. Greatly appreciate your support. You're too kind. Says thank you for all you do for the community, Boss Blunts. My conviction for ANC is very strong, partly because of you. Glad I found this community. That melts my heart. I greatly appreciate you. And as you know, Danette, I'm not here to tell anybody what to buy, what to sell, when, how, or why. I'm just trying to share the information I've learned over the years as a real estate broker, as a small business owner, and to try to really give as much information as possible so you can then use it to go out and do your own due diligence, your own homework, and figure out what is best for your situation. So thank you for that. This is from my man Suburban Drone on Twitter. Cyclicals are enjoying their last rally prior to full-on deflation. Financials, transport, and energy stocks will lead the market lower. And the guy's got an absolutely great point. Look at this nastiness here on the S&P 500. This is high beta stocks. Not negative beta, but high beta stocks. For those of you that are unaware, in plain English, a high beta stock means a stock that moves a lot in the same way as the S&P 500. So if the SPY goes up, these stocks go up a lot. If the SPY goes down, these stocks go down a lot. And that's what you're seeing now here in this, fake bull market here, this little bull rally that we're seeing in the middle of a Great Depression that will soon be. And if undoubtedly, again, but I'm not a financial advisor, but undoubtedly this has to deflect downwards. There's no way that this can continue for much longer before it actually starts to price in the recession, which we're going to be looking at. And again, I said depression because I truly hate to say it, but we're looking at a depression. The government is still trying to convince you that we're not in a recession. And just yesterday, I believe I saw a tweet from Unusual Whales that came out and said, hang on a second. Penny, can you chill out, please, pup? Come on. Come here, girl. Come say hi to everybody. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon came out and said, the United States could be looking at something much worse than a recession. And sadly, that's the case. I've been calling it for a year for a reason. Not because I like negativity, because I can't stand negativity, but truly, the fact of the matter is that meme stocks are not the cause of the problems in the market. Retail investors are not the cause of the problems in the market. We are what, Wolfie?
We are the cure.
We are the fucking cure. Because all we're doing is buying and holding stocks that we love, like BBBY and BBIG and AMC, GameStop and Hycroft, and a lot of other meme stocks. But the reality is that Susquehanna lost over $150 billion fucking dollars in one quarter, according to their 13F. And the reality is that Citadel Advisors has lost over $94 billion in this quarter as well. This is their 13F HR quarterly report filed by institutional managers and holdings and the statement of acquisition of beneficial ownership for the 13G. But taking a look here at the 13F, if it decides to load, let me try reopening it here. Got to click filing. Forgot about that. And we'll open the HTML so you guys can get a good look at this. You can see that per their most recent filing, they are... No, I did click the right one. What's going on here? Information table form. Per the information table, you can see clearly that they have had to hedge for their losses in AMC with a lot of calls. It is still populating, but I'll show it to you here in a second. They've got a lot of holdings, I'll tell you that much. AMC Entertainment Holdings. We're looking at times 1,000 as well. You're looking at calls worth 6,542,400 shares worth of calls on AMC Entertainment. They only have 3,220,200 puts. The reason for them needing such a larger number of calls is to hedge against the losses on those puts. That's why they're called a hedge fund. HEDGIES gonna hedge. They've also got 217.8 thousand shares of AMC and 452,913 additional shares of AMC. But market makers love leverage. And instead of having to get shares, which are very few and far between since retail owns 85% of the float of AMC, per the most recent share count by Adam Aron and AMC Theaters, they've had to resort to marrying puts and calls and buying lots of call contracts because they don't have to deliver on any shares to buy a call contract. They're supposed to, but they don't. And that's why January of last year and June of last year, 2021, when AMC issued shares, which some people call dilution, which might be the case, but they did sell shares, both the stocks ran up in ridiculous fashion to the point where January 28th, 2021, AMC and GameStop had to be sent into position close only, meaning you could not purchase it. You could only sell it by the broker dealers and the market makers such as Citadel and Virtue. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to figure out that there's a problem with these hedge funds. When BlackRock is down $1.7 trillion in the last quarter, and Susquehanna is down $150 billion, and Citadel is down $94 billion, that's a lot of billions with an S. And they're using certain things like calls on BBBY and AMC to hedge their position, as well as gold and silver. Ain't that right, Cash?
Oh, yeah.
We are seeing massive amounts of gold and silver leave the markets like you have never imagined before. The thousands of ounces in daily change of moving average inverse display, meaning as this goes up means there's less because there's less COMEX gold, is currently, on the 50-day, negative 130,000 100,000 troy ounces today alone. No, I'm sorry, here, not today alone. This month alone here. That's pretty massive. Look
How
at
does
April.
it go negative?
Well, it's inverse. If people are withdrawing from the COMEX, that means that institutions and people, retail investors especially, mostly central banks and institutions and governments, are taking their gold out of the COMEX vaults, out of the London Metals Exchange vaults. This means that there's less registered gold and silver and less available gold and silver in the vaults. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're running out silver in 6 months. The comics will be out of silver unless they get more.
That's why companies like Highcroft Mining and silver, physical silver and gold and other precious metals are so fucking hot, because silver and gold have actual use, unlike the fiat. And 50 and 100-day average rates of gold and silver withdrawals have never been as high as they are now, and they're continuing to accelerate as these central banks and governments and institutions withdraw and stockpile physical precious metals. This is not just AMC. This is not just GameStop. And if you feel that way, I'm sorry, but you're very uneducated. This is the everything bubble. And there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of meme stocks that squeeze together, and a lot of precious metals that have been heavily manipulated that also squeeze. Don't ask me when, because nobody can predict it, no matter how hard we try. But the fact of the matter is that I'm not a financial advisor and I've got no crystal ball. But it's inevitable. Like Cash said,
Inevitable.
there's only 6 months left of reserves on the COMEX. Look at silver. Despite net total deposits, registered silver saw 227,000 ounces worth of withdrawals at the lowest level it's been since February of 2018. Open interest is equal to 220% of all vaulted silver, meaning that the number of people that are interested or already own calls and such on vaulted silver in the COMEX is equal to 220% of all silver within those vaults. What does that mean? Short squeeze. It's like it's being fucking sold short. Because that's exactly what's happening. They're shorting it. They're spoofing the price.
So they can load their own boat.
Open interest, excuse me, that's 1,333% of registered silver. So the actual registered silver, which is warranted metal that is available for future deliveries, say you get something like SLV or PSLV, Sprott, physical silver, and you've got $500,000 worth, and you want to have it delivered to you in person. They'll bring it to you in a Brinks truck and drop it off for you. But there's a further reduction of that by 227,000 ounces, meaning that there's 1,333% open interest compared to the actual amount of registered silver that's warranted for those future deliveries. Can you say short squeeze?
Oh yeah, it's over leverage 120 to 1.
It's crazy. MC, thank you very much for your contribution to the think tank, my friend. We appreciate you as well. Brian P. asked, thank you for as well, and he asked, will ape kill the squeeze? How do we know AA is not with the hedgies? I'm sorry, my friend. If you've been here a while, you would know the answer to this. But in my opinion, let me switch screens. Hashtag stock ticker, hashtag ape is the best thing that could have possibly happened to AMC. Adam Aaron is an absolute fucking legend. The fact of the matter is that ape, there's a lot of ways that it could go, but it's an additional security that we're receiving. And so even if AMC gets cut in half, you're going to receive the same number of APE that you lost of AMC, bringing you whole. They're going to cover the other half. Now there are two securities. APE is a preferred equity unit. Okay, and it's AMC preferred equity. That's what it stands for. That's why it's called APE, because Adam Aaron is a fucking silverback. Mm-hmm. This APE can then be sold. I'm sorry, it's going to be distributed to people on the market. And that means that broker dealers need to go out and fetch the APE and give it to me. And you, and you, and you, and you. All you fucking apes, if you own AMC by the 19th, I believe, August 19th, you're going to be getting shares of APE. And if you own calls of AMC, say you've got $100 strike for AMC, you've got 10 of them. That's going to be cut in half, and you're going to have 5 calls at $50 strike, theoretically, and for AMC, and 5 calls of APE at $50 strike, theoretically, because AMC would go from $25 a share to $12.50 a share, and APE would go to $12.50 a share. Thus, you're still whole. You still have everything you started with, except now instead of just having AMC, you have AMC and APE. That's a theoretical. That's per my understanding from the OCC most recent information that we've received on options contracts for AMC, AMC1, and APE. Note, AMC1, the number 1, is not the same as AMC, or is not the same as APE. It is something else. I don't want to get too far into it, but this dilution, like some people like to think, is the best thing that could ever happen to us. Because every time that AMC issues shares, it causes a price run-up. And it could very well potentially happen again. I think it will. And I'm just choosing my words carefully, because if I said what I really thought, I don't want to face, any lawsuits or anything like that. So let's see. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but Adam Aaron could easily take APE, have a squeeze on it as broker dealers try to fetch APE to bring it to all of us retail investors. And then they could still need a lot more of it, meaning that Adam Aaron could issue more APE without diluting AMC shares. And if he does that, it would cause the price of APE to go up even further. And if you have AMC, then you're also going to receive APE, and that means you're going to make more fucking money, theoretically. In addition, exactly, it would expose synthetics. If all of a sudden the 516 million APE that are supposed to be issued turns into 1 billion APE, and then 2 billion.
Like 5 billion, maybe.
Yeah. I could say 50 billion, but I'm just like giving people an easy number. I'm just doubling it.
Yeah.
And that being said, Adam Aaron could then turn around and offer to us the ability to convert APE into AMC. And if we did that, if we were smart enough to do that, it would cause a massive fucking gamma squeeze, massive amounts of delta hedging, and a huge fucking MOAS on AMC potentially. That being said, now we would have a bigger float and we would be diluted. Adam Aaron could cash that out, take a bunch of the fucking money, and then do a reverse stock split to bring us back to 516 million shares, making billions and billions of dollars with an S for AMC and retail investors. After which the reverse stock split would bring everything right back to normal, and the stock price would potentially be a lot higher. And then, guess what? If they still need APE, he can go out and do it again. Dilute APE again. Cause more of a fucking squeeze. And squeeze hedge funds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before the mother of all short squeezes. Who knows? But this is a very good possibility. And if people don't understand this, I'm sorry. But I truly think that you don't understand the way that markets work. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm being blunt. They don't call me Boss Blunts just because I like to smoke blunts. It's because I'm blunt and to the point. And I don't really care if people are upset by it. We are very keen on unpopular opinions here. Because popular does not always make it right. Just because something is legal doesn't make it moral. Like selling 50 billion shares, synthetic shares, on a stock with a float of only 500 million.
We're gonna be so goddamn rich.
We're gonna be so motherfucking rich. So, Don versus Babylon, no company's ever done that before. Because it's not easy. It's groundbreaking. It's incredible. It's a brand new thing. GameStop tried, and they tried to do a 4-for-1 stock split dividend. But instead of doing what GameStop asked, which was to give 3 more cookies to everybody that has a cookie worth of GameStop, the DTC told the broker dealers to take the GameStop cookie and break it into 4 pieces. That is not what GameStop filed. This gives Ryan Cohen the ability to recall the shares of GameStop. This gives Ryan Cohen, after 90 days, it gives him that ability, as well as the ability to pull GameStop off the DTCC entirely. And if you were to do that, well, I think you already know what that means. It means shorts would have to cover. No, not cover. Close out their positions, for better or for worse. And if you were to do that at the same time as AMC was squeezing, well, my friends, it would be legendary. So anything's possible. All right,
Called it checkmate
possible.
for a reason.
Yes, exactly. They call it checkmate for a reason. 3D chess. Okay.
Amen.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that the ape share is going to cause dilution in AMC. As a matter of fact, no, it's not actually. Ape can be diluted all at once. It's a separate security. That'd be like saying, no, I'm not going to be so vulgar, but let's put it this way. That just makes no sense. But when Adam Aaron requests for us to, I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow, I'm saying in the future, when Adam Aaron requests for us to convert Ape into AMC, in my opinion, and of all the due diligence I've done and the thousands and thousands of hours I've used studying the markets, I will tell you that I think it would be the stupidest thing if people voted no. Because people need to vote yes in order for AMC to make a shitload of money, cause further gamma ramps as the price of the stock goes up, for further delta hedging, and further fear of missing out buying by retail investors. So this is not telling anybody what to do. This is just my opinion on the matter, and per my understanding, and I've got a very good understanding on this, I believe. So do your own due diligence on it, and take it from there. Joseph Wallace asks, is a GME class action coming? Nah, I doubt it. We don't want anything to do with a class action. We don't want anything to do with a lawsuit. Not an AMC or GameStop.
Yeah,
Not at all.
we don't want that. No way.
Yep. We don't want dilution in any
We
way.
just buy and hold.
That's right. Where's Johnny Bravo? Where's Sylvester over here? Where's Arnold Schwarzenegger today? But yeah, it's a very, very simple thing if you understand the way that this has been issued, if you've read through all the documents, top to bottom, left to right. If you haven't, I can understand why people think it would cause dilution. But they're wrong. Because it doesn't dilute it until we vote to convert to dilute it, and then we should fucking vote to convert to dilute it because it will cause further short squeezing. But again, I'm not telling anybody what to do. Do your own due diligence. Do your own homework. The Bricks brings up a great point. It's not actual dilution in the sense it's supply and demand will bounce AMC right back up due to the float being the same and shorts in the same position with more pain. Exactly. They're not all going to be able to get out at once. They're all going to rush for the door. The door is this big. There's this many shorts. They're not going to fit through at the same time. They're going to funnel in as the stock price rises and rises and rises. It's really simple. And then my favorite part is going to be as I'm taking profits on my call contracts for AMC and my other meme stocks, I will absolutely be exercising some of my contracts when they're deep in the money. Absolutely I will. And I'm going to shove my gamma right up Ken Griffin's ass. We're going to be so fucking rich.
So goddamn rich.
Yeah, you fucking know
Hulk
it, dude.
smash.
Hey, Marcel.
Yeah, Pantheon, what's up, brother?
When we're talking about people freaking out about dilution, and I think you've said it perfectly today, but what people really need to think about, just to put it a different way, the percentage that we own of the company is the same percentage we're going to own after the 516.8 million apes are issued. Our percentage ownership doesn't change.
Exactly.
It's the It's the 483 million apes that AA still has. Now, what I want people to do on their own is go to the latest filings, take the institutional ownership, which, by the way, is dropping. Why are the institutional ownerships dropping right now? Why are they selling AMC? Tinfoil hat, could it be that they know they have real shares and they have some synthetic shares? Are they potentially dropping their synthetic shares because once the apes are issued on Monday or Friday and they're traded on Monday, they will lose half of the value of their collateral because they can't go complaining about
That's
the apes
right.
they don't receive.
That's right.
See, people look at this and say, what if I as retail don't get my apes on Monday? What if the institutions don't get their apes on Monday? They can't complain because they're part of the alleged problem. They're also going to lose, that's a 50% haircut, folks, on collateral. Exactly, Cash. So that's something they can't do. So why are we seeing institutions selling their shares in AMC right now? Maybe it's because they can't be part of that problem and complaining about it. So just take the ownership of the institutions, double it for their apes are going to receive, and then for fun, add 483 million more ape units on top of that. And you don't end up at 50% voting power, folks.
Nope.
They still can't vote
Still
it through.
not.
And on top of that, Adam Aaron has to be the one to call for the vote. So it doesn't matter how many apes are sold until we're asked to vote on it, folks. And I want one more thing. I'm sorry to go on so long, Marcel.
No, keep going, brother. This guy fucking gets it. Pantheon, AMC gets it. Keep going.
But if we take, let's just say the stock price is $22 for AMC come Friday. Let's just pretend that's the number. You cut it in half. $11 for AMC's Class A common stock and $11 for the ape. If Adam Aaron were to sell 483 million apes at $11 a unit, that's $5.3 billion. Do you know how much debt AMC carries? $5.2 billion. And that doesn't even touch the Class A common stock because we still haven't been asked to vote for it. And even if we're asked to vote for it, how long did the proxy take last time you guys were asked to vote for anything on AMC? It took 2 months, right? This vote doesn't happen in a day or a week or a month. People have to receive their proxy statements. They have to go online. They got to cast their ballot. Then the results are done. Guys, even if a vote's announced, it's months later until we can actually get to the results. There's so many parts to this. It's not hurting us, guys. Right now, it's not. This is good.
Too many people are scared of things that are not going to happen because they don't understand the way the market works. And I'm sorry, I'm not calling anybody dumb. It's just a lack of education in the manipulation and the ways that the markets work. A lot of these things are legal. Creating synthetic shares is legal. That's how we got here, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard Thomas Peterfeet, the CEO of Interactive Brokers, tell you on this channel many times that there's a hole in the system in the way that shorts are reporting. And it allows the creation of ridiculous amounts of synthetic shares by market makers. And then all of this can be hidden in ISDA contracts, futures, swaps, married puts, married calls, rehypothecations, divorced puts, divorced calls, shorts marked as long. I could keep fucking going, but I'm gonna stop there. Wash sales, spoofing. All right, I'll stop there. You get my fucking point? Pantheon, you are the man. Thank you for bringing that up because a lot of people don't seem to understand that. Simple math. Even if this goes this way and institutions buy up ape because they need to deliver it to us, it's not enough for them to even be able to vote on it. And then Adam Aaron still has to be the one to kick the vote off. So there's like double layers of protection, in my opinion. I've been in a lot of fucking crazy short squeezes, including dry ships. Look that up if you have never heard about that. Including dry ships, which was at one point worth billions of dollars a share. Even though it was because of a reverse stock split like 6 times. It was absolute insanity. This stuff is not unprecedented. We know about the manipulation of the markets, the synthetics, and everything else that's been happening for decades. And Adam Aaron and AMC have come up with an absolutely beautiful way to handle it that's completely legal. And we have to have faith and trust in the fact that this man could very well pull AMC out of all of its debt into a positive cash position if this goes even half as well or even a small percentage as well as we think it could. Then,
He even called it ape.
yeah, exactly. He even literally fucking named it after us,
Yeah.
retail investors. AMC preferred equity, APE. And the fact that it's a preferred equity is even more bullish because you can't short preferred equity stock because it's so illiquid. So you theoretically could, but you technically shouldn't because shorts are already fucked.
There's no derivatives on them.
Bingo. There's also none of these these toxic derivatives are not available for this preferred equity, which makes it even more bullish and reduces a lot of the ability for manipulation by these hedge fucks. Pantheon, is there anything else you'd like to add on here? Because I'm so fucking pumped. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm ready, baby. So I don't want to keep everybody here too long.
I just want to re-emphasize the point that you just made. Guys, if even at $11 an ape unit, Adam sold the other 483 million, it doesn't matter whose hands they're in, but let's just say he went and sold them at $11 a unit and got $5.3 billion. And imagine if Adam Aaron turned around and paid off $5.2 billion of company debt, and all of a sudden the story becomes not a single Class A common stock share has been diluted. Apes have been diluted. Class A common stock, which is where the short positions lie, has not changed. And by the way, the company has no debt, or at least has $5.3 billion in cash to offset $5.2 billion in debt. Short thesis destroyed.
And then they're very nice.
That's a motherfucking pounds.
It's like fear of dilution that everyone had. It came out the minute it hit the floor. As soon as the idea came out, the same routine went through. But I'll focus just very quickly. When he came out, he gave us the chalice. He gave us the home run. He named it checkmate. He said checkmate, and he named it the ape. And you got the haters and everybody else coming at it. Oh, he's going to dilute. He's going to dilute. His dilution saved the company. His dilution meant he could buy into Highcroft. His dilution meant that he had money in the bank. His dilution meant we had 5. Because we didn't have a Ryan Cohen that paid all the debt. AMC's got its game. GameStop's got his, and I hold them both. He's come out with an ape. Having come out with the ape, he said checkmate. So keep it really simple. He said checkmate. Come the 22nd, you're going to find out you've got it in your account or you haven't. This is a third stroke to this particular painting that we're putting together for you this evening. He then gets a confirmation. Your account, your name, the date you bought it, what broker you bought it through, and it goes back. Now, all that means that he's then sat there and he created $1 billion. He's got 5 billion. All right, let's just stick to $1 billion. He released 516. He's got 486 million still left. And as Pantheon's just explained, if he were then to drip feed them, because he knows there's 50 million people screaming, I haven't had any ape, he'll release them in the market. They've got to buy them, give it to us. And then once they give it to us, he's still got another 20 million, another 50 million screaming. So he can release another lot. And he can work his way down. This dilution, it would take months to get there. The dilution means it got to go through certain hoops. And you're assuming that if he releases, the haters are assuming that if he releases, we don't have that. We don't have people out there that bought through brokers that got their name and their time and the date and what they paid, and they can't prove. Of course they can. So it might take a little bit of time, but he does all that. If he keeps drip feeding it, they got to keep buying it. They got to keep buying it. The price keeps going up. What are they going to short it with? All right, retail, the institutional might have a percentage of shares. So what? Every time he releases it, we already own it. If we're correct about what we believe they've been doing for decades, we're laughing. Because every time he releases it, let them buy it. Let the enemy take the money off the enemy, Adam. Put it in the coffers. Keep going until everyone's quiet. Everyone's got what they needed. And until they do, just keep releasing it. Keep releasing it. Keep releasing it. Force them to pay us, to give us our rate. Because when he sells it, he's giving it to us, shareholders of the company. The enemy give the money to Adam, they're giving it to us. And by giving it to them, it means because they bought the ape. The same ape that you already own since last January until the 21st. And if people think that all these ideas that we've put forward to use aren't correct or ain't feasible, let's just look at it from a different way. Let's use our great CEO Diane Garrett's approach. Let's come at it from a different way. There's good guys in this market. There's businesses in this market. There's owners in this market that look at their employees and know their family and their kids. And they know what goes on, but they've never been able to fight it. But are you seriously telling me that after 20 years, 30 years of this going on, Patrick Burns, when you got Elon Musk, are you seriously telling me this hasn't happened where they could have conversations or the smart people had lunch? Or just collectively they've had time, the experts have had time, the CFOs, or they've had time. They haven't got relationships where they're looking and watching and understanding what the cancer in the market's doing. So is it unreasonable to them think they had an answer? They had an answer that they couldn't implement, and it's called APE. Now, why couldn't they implement it before AMC? Because you need retail. You can't have institutional at 60, 70, 80% ownership of your company. The company directors, etc., that borrow money through the banks are then over a barrel. But if you've got 70, 80% that's institutional owners and you made a move like this, they could dump the shares before you get it out. Well, they haven't been able to. They dug their hole. And I think there has been a plan, whether it's this, whether it's a combination of GME moving, whether it's a combination of Tesla now moving, whether Adam's spoken to Elon and spoken to Ryan, I don't know. But it's not a huge leap of faith to believe that the good guys in the market are trying to protect their company and do right by their shareholders, had a plan for 1 year, 3 years, 10 years, couldn't implement it because they never had 90% shareholders. They didn't have a light on them. There was no noise being made. Look at West Christian and the likes trying to raise this fight, this battle. Darren Saunders, may you rest in peace. We're fighting it for you. So now we're in a position where we can understand this could have been a plan that was always available, but it couldn't be implemented. And if they're that smart on the other side, you can bet your bottom line somebody like Adam Aaron, maybe a Ryan Cohen, maybe an Elon Musk, couldn't look at this and realise what the answer was. And we turned up with the answer: unity, community, standing together, being loud, highlighting all that's wrong in the market, showing there is a cancer, showing we won't walk away, showing we ain't going to sell, showing that we're proven we're not going nowhere. And then Adam Aaron said for months, when I'm ready to pounce, I will. And the earnings call, he pounced. He used the word. And then he used the word checkmate. I'm telling you, that's how you end up dealing with them. And I hope I turn out to be true. And I hope people hear it, and I hope people have heard Boss with his explanation, because the negative side's absolute crap. The negative side's always the same. It always gets out first, and then we have to run around putting out fires. Fuck you, I wish I could have got out there. I wish I had a voice. I wish me and Boss got together and got this out with Pantheon, Bigums, and everyone was saying the same thing. There's hundreds of good possibilities, hundreds of good things that can happen from this. That one fear that went out, they're going to dilute, they're going to dilute. They've been using it for 18, 20 months. Now look where we are. Sorry, Boss, I know that was...
You're right, dude. We're at the fucking point where these assholes are saying that AMC is having sympathy runs because of Bed Bath & Beyond. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? We're at the point where Jim Cramer for the last 6 days has been saying sell AMC. I'm sorry, sell BBY, sell BBY. And then it runs 180% over the last 6 days since he said that. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. The government always lies to you. The fucking media always lies to you. They tell you what they want you to fucking hear because they don't give a fuck about you. Oh, I don't know. I've got a couple questions here. You know what? Maybe if you guys want to tackle them, but this was a really good question. Let's see. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to MC. Appreciate you, brother. And thank you to Tyler. Tyler's World of Fun asks, do you think that that's why they're knocking down the price hard this week? So Ape and AMC have a lower price when this is intact. Well, I think, my friend, they can't let things get out of hand. But after the split, they still want AMC to be above $10. Why? Because if it's under $10, then AMC would get a collateral haircut, meaning that their other short positions would no longer be hedged against or hedged for by that AMC asset. Meaning they've got a little window between $10 and $15 where they really want AMC to hang out. But broker dealers are buying up and selling shares of AMC and such in order to make sure that they've got the correct amounts hedged against for the moment. So it's a really difficult game for them to play.
They call that cookie jar with the synthetic on the haircut.
Yeah, they can't go too low because the collateral haircut will fuck them on other positions, leading them to get margin called. And they can't go too high because then they won't have enough other collateral to protect themselves against their short on AMC. Either way, they're fucked.
And they can't sell too many shares.
Yep.
Counselor Murray asks, could Ape give us the squeeze while keeping Wall Street executives out of prison by them buying them up to close synthetics? Does AA want a peaceful ending? Salute. Anybody want to try answering this one?
I will. I'd
ahead.
love to, if I may.
Go ahead.
We keep looking at things, and it's from a negative or a scare or a FUD or an intern or a bot. But okay, I'll play along because it's a genuine question. So let's deal with it.
That was a good question.
Yeah. I'm respectful. So genuine question. But if you think it through, so if Adam Aaron wanted to screw us, why wait 20 months? If Adam Aaron was involved with them, the bad guys, why wait? Let's just put that one side. Adam Aaron really hasn't put a foot long. The things that he's been attacked, if you understand business and international business, if you understand the debt, where it came from, which Pantheon did a brilliant video on, go and watch it, you'll see why there was actually debt. It was nothing to do with the fact it was failing. It was struggling and it got into panic. It was actually deleveraging its debt, getting rid of it, becoming better in 2019, and then we went into lockdown where everybody was suffering. Why aren't they talking about all these other businesses? Why aren't they being hit like AMC is? Because they went after it for years. You came in January, July, December. They didn't. They've been at this company since 2015-16. So Adam Aaron's on record. He's been out there on the TV. He's been doing the interviews. It's 2019 he's talking about the company being shorted. And he thought it was unfair. He says now that there's people that wish to do AMC harm. He talks about being proud of it being a 102-year-old business. He's talked about his kids that he give AMC shares. He got the company through a really bad patch, and we did that. We helped save AMC. We turned up and bought the shares. We loved the company. We see it as undervalued, and every other reason that we bought it. And then he worked a couple of miracles. Thought outside the box. We all give him ideas that he's implemented, that he acted on. The popcorn, we said that. NFTs, we said that. Crypto payment, we said that. So not only has he got the loyal support, not only has he been brilliant enough to stand up against the FUD, like we all have for 18 months, standing united communities together, shoulder to shoulder, held through all the FUD, he's done it as well. He's looked at what the complaints were and the criticisms were and the knocks were. And do you know what he did? Exactly what he had to. He held his head up. He focused in on his job. He delivered for shareholders because he protected the company. If he'd have gone out and gone willy-nilly and silly, crazy ideas, then you might have had grounds, but you didn't. So he's sitting there with £1 billion in the bank. He has £20 million worth of whatever it is of iCroft. He's got NFTs that he's giving out left, right and centre. He's got more people joining AMC on the Connect, the discount. We've got huge attendance going into the films, and we haven't yet got the number of films that they had in 2019. The streaming services are struggling left, right and centre, and people are starting to have to change a bit of the narrative. Will he screw us? Why? He's got more shares than all the haters put together, if they've even got any shares. He's got more shares than most people in any community. Why would he do that? What's the benefit? Well, they're going to go in behind him. If they went in behind him as a businessman and said, look, we'll give you £500 million to trash the company, he could go straight and get treble that as a whistleblower. So there's a lot of things that people come out with, and it's just like, it's not really a concern. If you're raising it in amongst your own communities, you should be able to get the answer. And if you can't straight away when new news comes out, wait till the guys like Boss and the Pantheons and the Bighams and the KC Shores. I went in his chat today. Brilliant community. They're not all sitting in there panicking. The only panic is on the peripheral. It's only people that trying to create FUD and uncertainty and doubt, or they're part of the other side. But they've been there since January last year. You're here today having still held. 90% of us have never ever sold. I bought January. I wrote it up in June. I remember being at work, my boy going, bloody hell, it's at $70. Peanuts. That's what I said, peanuts. I'm not a financial advisor. I ain't got a crystal ball, but I've done me DD. I know a little bit about business, I know a shit ton about strategy, and I know pretty much all I ever need to know about people. And when you look back, the people of what's done this, they're the answer to this. They're the strategy of this. They're the people that have got it to where it is. So Adam Aaron doesn't need to do that. And why would he? Why would he burn us? 5 to 10 million people know about it. You've all spoke to 5 to 10 million is 100 million. Most of you, the biggest shareholders in AMC, are American citizens. You're out there telling everybody you know. It does appear on mainstream media getting slaughtered. And he knows at the end of this, we've got all the facts. The only reason we can't produce them as evidence of facts is because we need the play to confirm it by finishing. He knows all that. So if he has been talking to the Patrick Burns of the world or the Elon Musks of the world, he's got all the answers he needs. And I think you're the answer. Whoever asked that question, you and 4 to 10 million other people that have bought that stock, that love that company, that have continued him through all the FUD, and we're sat here today and we're like 5 days away from an 8 being released that you'll get because you bought a share that a market maker had produced for a broker to sell to you. Let them deal with that problem. They'd never get it to hurt us. And Adam Aaron, I don't believe, has done everything he's done and gone on the chats and come out and met us and gone into cinemas to meet people to turn around and go, do you know what? I'm going to turn you over. Come on now.
That's right, brother.
Could I add one to Wolfie's, just 2 tiny bits?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
There one thing that I think is really simple that a lot of apes I feel like don't pay attention to is that Adam Aaron can't just do willy-nilly things. He's a CEO. That's market manipulation. That's one. He doesn't get to just run around and make choices really quick without talking to the board, without doing this. Everything takes time. That's one thing. And then 2, so that's different from us and the apes and our hot-headed youth and whatever. That's different. But then 2 is his 2 sons have, I think, 3 million each in AMC. What CEO wouldn't mind becoming one of the most famous CEOs in history, but then turning his sons into billionaires?
Yes.
People that always wonder if I wonder if he wants to squeeze. I don't know if he wants to squeeze. I think whatever, man. Come on. Like his kids will be, his entire family will be okay for generations. And he doesn't even have to claim that. What dad is going to step away from their sons and be like, well, I could have made them billionaires, but then I decided not to. Like, he knows this all just has to be played like chess by him. He can't just do hot-headed stuff. He can't just be an Elon Musk. And with Elon Musk, I respect, but he's older. He's done this for a while. He's saved other companies. He knows what he's doing. He's just doing it the right way, from my perspective.
That's right, brother. And like to you guys' point, Adam Aaron's got 793,974 fucking shares of AMC. The man, I think, is 67 or 68 years old. You know, and he's going to be vesting in 1 to 2 million more AMC shares post taxes by 2024. I think the man has a good incentive to make sure that his company makes money. It's his fucking job. It's his livelihood. It's his retirement. It's his legacy to his children and to us. So I would like to give a huge shout out, thank you to Adam Aaron, to the board of directors of AMC, and as well as to Highcroft Mining Corporation and to Dr. Diane Garrett. Thank you again, Dr. Garrett, for blessing us with the ability to have an interview together. And for those of you that are unaware, Dr. Garrett, the interview that was put together by Pantheon very, very beautifully, Pantheon AMC on YouTube, make sure you check them out. Dr. Diane Garrett told Pantheon and I, live, I'm sorry, not live, but on the video that we put out a couple weeks ago, that they're coming out with an online store. And that online store will allow people to purchase physical gold, physical silver, coins, bullion, and NFTs and other things directly from HYMC. Cut out the fucking middleman and buy. You could cut out the middleman and buy directly from Highcroft Mine if you so choose, which I think would be a massive, massive increase to the bottom line, because then they're able to liquidate their precious metals and get cash on hand so they can continue drilling, because only 2% of their mine has been explored. 98% of Highcroft Mine remains unexplored, and it ranks in as one of the top silver and gold mines. I'm literally talking like top 3 silver and gold mines of recoverable gold and silver in the world. AMC owns 25% of Highcroft Mining Corporation. We're gonna be so motherfucking rich.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Brr, 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 brr.
Hey, boss, I gotta say something.
Go ahead, brother, please.
Thanks for streaming, by the way. Thanks for going live.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, Edward Britchick, everybody, my man on Twitter. What's going on, bro?
Dude, I've been from today, actually from the time the ape was announced, I've been watching the bots that have been going around that have been probably created by these firms that are short on AMC and been attacking it. I kid you not, this is like the most craziest and bullish thing I've ever seen, because the amount of times they've been spreading FUD on ape. Now they're saying that it's coming out August 24th. You cannot make this shit up.
They're trying to get big people late to the party.
So there's bots that are saying, "Hey, I will sympathize the short sellers and sell my AMC so that it will not cause them harm." I kid you not. You can like search all these like bot little whatever they use.
I'm showing them right now.
Little, there's multiple. It's insane. But over all of this is leading to this ape coming out, dude. It's making me bullish, man. It's so crazy. I've never seen the amount of activity coming out by all these people. And you pointed with the BBY like, oh, it's a sympathetic rise or whatever run for AMC or whatever. It's nuts, man.
His announcement of ape. Coincidence? Probably.
Yeah,
possibly.
it's like right on the week. I've posted it today. Right on the week before the ape gets released, all this shit starts happening. Like everything starts happening like crazy. The week before, it's like there is no coincidence. This is all like leading to this climax point, and it's making me so bullish, dude. They're freaking in fear of this. They had to create bots to spread FUD to get people to not buy AMC this week, so that because they're like, oh, Monday's the last time to buy AMC, this or that and stuff like that. It's crazy nuts, the amount of FUD, the amount of fear mongering by these stupid firms that are short on AMC. It's so insane, man. It's disgusting, but at the same time, I'm freaking bullish as all heck. This is the craziest news we ever had on AMC, man.
Exactly.
A freaking ape? Hell yeah.
Look, I just got done showing
all this time.
Almost everybody who's been posting this delay ape Q4 has no actual AMC apes or tweets or of any kind. And they've all got 3 followers, 5 followers, 66 followers. One's got a couple hundred. But yeah, it's absolute hilarity. And then all the real apes.
The delay ape, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, the real apes are, it's obvious who the real apes are, and they're pushing lots of followers and lots of interaction, lots of positivity, as I've shown people. I got a couple questions here from people I wanted to address. Thanks again to Counselor Murray, MC5. Thank you very much for your support of the tank. Adam Baum asked, could AMC be delisted if synthetics are exposed? No, my friend. AMC cannot be delisted if synthetics are exposed. Counselor Murray asked, no beef with AA, with Adam Aaron. I meant, could he use ape to please both sides and end it? No, my friend. That's the whole reason that we all brought up this whole delay ape Q4 thing, because it's a bunch of nonsense. They have no answers, and it's desperation to try to keep people out of the stock. Yep. They could not be more concerned about this. They are fucking shitting their pants.
Yeah. Crazy thing is, they've gone into overdrive, and the price still went up.
MC, thank you as well for your contributions to the think tank. I appreciate everybody. But we've been here a little over an hour now. I don't want to make the video too long, because I do understand that if they're too long, some people won't watch them. So let's leave it. Let's cut it off right here. I wish you all peace and wealth. I will see you guys, if not tomorrow, the next day. But I'll be here for you. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you all. Thank you, boss.
Heck yeah. Let's freaking go.
Let's fucking go.
No.
How rich are we?
Freaking ape rich.
Billions with an S.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Thanks again to Versace Studios for making the video, and love to everybody. Thank you very much, people. Have a great day.
All about the market and their use of synthetics. Yeah,
Greatest community there is. Well done.
Well done.
We're all just here because we're tired of getting fucked by hedge funds and the 1%.
Yeah, no.
It is what it is.
They created us.
They fucked around and found out.
You know.
The Hedges Casino. We're gonna be so rich. We're gonna be so fucking rich.